Hey LEGO fans, this is Vorkoskin78, and in this video I'm going to do a review of the LEGO Medieval Blacksmith set number 21325, which just came out on February 1st. This is, I would say, a pretty awesome set, very detailed, and it's pretty rare that you get to see a civilian-based medieval set, and of course it's been a little while since we've had any castle sets of any sort, so it's a good opportunity if you're into that sort of thing to get a really elaborate, nicely put together set with a lot of fun stuff to discover and all the details inside and out. Now this set has 2,164 pieces. It sells for $150 US. It's sold out pretty fast, which is not uncommon with ideas sets and big exclusives like this, but I'm sure it'll be back in stock at some point soon. It has 4 figures, which is not a lot for the size of it, but I'll talk about some of the pros and cons. I mean, there's always things you can nitpick in a set, but I would say overall it's a very, very nice set. Exceptional one if you're a fan of this sort of subject matter. So I'll show the figures here a little bit, but I'll have some close-ups of the figures so you can see it in more detail. We have some newly reimagined Black Falcons figures. Right, taking a vintage theme and modernizing it. They come with a nice cart. So they have a tan horse on this cart, which is a new recoloring. And you don't see horses in too many sets, so it's always nice to get a horse. The cart itself is nothing too elaborate, but has some nice details. I'm going to start on the exterior of the set, then focus in on the figures, and then show you the interior details. So let's set aside those guys. There's a blacksmith figure, and presumably his wife, who is equipped with a bow and arrow, so probably going out to do some hunting. So this is an ideas project. It is, fairly significantly changed from the original idea, although it retains the overall shape, structure, and the way the roof is done is different, but it's still a very detailed roof. So yeah, you can debate whether it's fully in the spirit of the original idea or not. To me, it's great. I don't need it to be exactly like the original ideas. I'm not married to that concept. But interesting tree construction here. It's a pretty spindly kind of tree, and it's attached. It's attached through a pretty elaborate bit of snot work here, which I was trying to take apart, but it's pretty secure into the base there. So just reattach this. See, the way the whole thing mounts into the base is with some rods, which is an interesting construction method. And there's a lot of snot construction inside this base, and then the arms going up to the various branches branches using the kind of grass piece, the newer version of the grass piece that has a base with a rod coming out of it. Nice little well there. Dog. Here, I guess while I have the tree off, I can zoom in a bit and show you there's some wood stored underneath there. Nice little detail. Fairly dark in there, but there's a nice stack of logs. This side is a little bit plain, but you know, still the wattle and daub construction of the main floor is very nice. The stonework on the base, the elaborate roof with some holes and different coloring, moss on the top. And this side has a little pumpkin patch, some squash. I like this window that sticks out. It's a neat detail there. One of the fun features is the light up forge when you push on the bellows there. This includes the sword from the Series 20 Tournament Night, which is a very nice sword piece. If you don't have one of those, much more detailed than the older sword pieces. Comes with 3 of those, which doesn't hurt. Of course, more is always better. Now the roof was fairly significantly changed from the idea set. I personally really like this way that they did it with the pentagonal tiles, or also known as Nexo Shield tiles, introduced with the Nexonite theme. They're a really neat piece. I like how they have the beveled edges, which is unusual for tiles, and produces a great texture on the roof, I think. A lot of masonry bricks in this set, producing some good details on the chimney there and around the base level, the basement. Alright, now let's take a look at the figures and then go to the inside of the set. Alright, so here's the 4 figures that come with the set. For a $150 set, 4 figures does seem a little bit low, but I like all the figures that it comes with. So we have, of course, the Blacksmith himself. He has a new torso print, and I think those leg print is new as well, with an apron. Some nice printing on the back of his torso. Overall, a good looking figure. Now, the set comes with a Husky, which is kind of generic. I mean, the original idea came with several other animals, chickens, goats, I think. So some people were disappointed that all you get is a Husky. But I mean, a Blacksmith is not really about the animals. More animals would be great. You know, it's not really the key feature of the set to me, though. You get the Blacksmith's wife, presumably, who I think her torso works pretty well. It's from the Pirates of Barracuda Bay set, but it's not a new torso, and some nice legs with boots. Then we get the two figures that are Black Falcons. They have some newly recolored armor. So this armor, I believe, was from Star Wars and I think Ninjago for the other one. I think it looks pretty nice in silver. I mean, it's a little bit oversized, you know, but that's okay. I like a fantasy medieval aesthetic. It doesn't have to be super realistic. Overall, I'm pretty happy with the figures. I think it gets the job done with what you need in terms of figures to go with the build. Alright, now let's look at the interior, and we'll start with the top. So the roof can be kind of worked out of here, but it's easier to take the fireplace and the window off. Now you can also take it apart from the other side, of course, but I'm going to show you from both sides. So I'll start by removing those pieces. Moving the two sections of roof. Oops, lost a little bit there. Right, so in theory you would leave this window here if you took it only off the other side of the roof, but to show it from this side, and you're seeing the inside of the fireplace there, but so I'll just leave those off for the moment. So you can see the bed is pretty elaborately constructed. So have a writing table over here with a lamp, a little dresser. Alright, so this is the side you're supposed to view it from, in theory, because the other side roof is more difficult to remove. Really like how the bed's constructed. Good wood details on either end. Plaid comforter there. We got the bearskin rug, which is pretty neat idea, well realized. Small writing table that looks out the window there. That's the window that projects out from the one side. And a little fireplace. Overall, a nice bedroom. Good amount of detail. Not too cluttered. I mean, in a super detailed mock, I'm sure you'd shove more stuff in here than this, but for a set, I would say it's pretty nice. Alright, now looking into the main floor, you can see the stove there, which has some cool mechanism for holding a pot over the stove. You get two pots in there. You can see some logs inside, butter churn, carrot being cut. That's a funny little detail with the tile there to show the top of the carrot. Right, table with some food. The chairs have some neat details. The backs of the chairs are made with axes. Gives it a good kind of spindly look. You can see the inside of the door. Inside of the door is not too pretty, but the outside of the door is nicely done with these printed wood tiles. And for this level, I'll show the staircase in some detail as well. You can see into the wood pile a little bit there too. And let's take a look at the forge while it still has the roof over it. Nice unique printed tile here. Again, there's the bellows mechanism which lights it up. It's a very neat little detail. Got enough swords to have one on the forge, one on the anvil, one waiting to be sold. Just nice windows looking into the shop there, provide a little light. I really like these stonework on the corners. Using a 1x1 with studs on two sides, you can produce a really neat effect here. I like how it kind of overlaps. Use the fact that you can slide the 1x2 tile bit to overlap it with the 1x1. Produce those cool corner effects. Very similar door to the other level. Alright, lastly we have the ground floor. So in the ground floor, you have the blacksmith's workshop. Alright, nice little assortment of tools. What I assume are like raw iron rods in the corner there. Probably heating up the metal. The pot there, you got a helmet being finished potentially on this bust, or maybe it is done. You got a couple more armor pieces hanging on the wall, extra shield. There's a what I think is supposed to be like a grinder there, which is a neat tool to have represented to sharpen the blade. You have the box in the corner full of probably raw iron pieces, and then I think the coal right next to the forge. There's also an orange ingot piece representing like some hot out of the furnace metal to be worked on the anvil there. And the forge can be accessed from inside or out. Convenient. Pretty good amount of details packed into this little level here. Not too much more space to work with, really. More nice tile detail on the corners. Back view of the tree with the you gotta have the target on it, reminiscent of the Fireman sets. An old target. Well, there you have it. Had $150. The set's not cheap, so depending on your budget, you know, you may want to weigh the pros and cons. But to me, if you're a fan of medieval settings, it's pretty much a must-have. You're not going to see many sets of this level of detail. Even if we do get a new castle line, which I certainly hope we do, you know, it's probably going to play more to the usual style of sets for, you know, mass audience, as opposed to an exclusive idea set like this, an 18+ set, where you have the extreme level of detail and greebling and everything like that. So over 2,000 pieces, a bunch of exclusive prints. I think it's pretty good value, and yeah, I definitely recommend it. Well, I hope you enjoyed watching, and please check out my other videos. Thanks.